We are live. Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. I am Paul Wontorek. I'm the editor-in-chief of Broadway.com. Thanks. Come on in. Join the room. Good to have you. Hello, Moulin Rouge fans. I'm a fan. I love it. Thank you all for being here. We are going to go live in a moment. Is everyone having a good day? Thursday, almost a weekend. Thank you so much. Hold on. Okay. Hi, everybody. Sorry for that pause. How's everyone doing? We're going to get to our guest. Obviously, I know I'm a fan of his, a fan for a long time. God, he's done so much already on Broadway. Mr. Aaron Tveit will be joining us. Hello, Ireland. Good to see you. Yeah, and it's funny. I was looking on Aaron's Instagram, and it has been 10 years to the day since the very first Broadway preview of Catch Me If You Can, which, I had already seen Aaron Tveit in Next to Normal before that. I think I saw him in Hairspray as well, and he was fantastic in Next to Normal. But when I saw Catch Me If You Can, I remember I went to an early preview because I was very excited about that show. I'm a big fan of Mark Shaman and Scott Whitman and Jerry Mitchell and Jack O'Brien, that whole team. And I went to see an early preview of it, and he blew my mind. He was so fantastic in that show. And then he came in right after that, the following week he came in and did for his first interview on Show People with me, which was a really fun interview, and it started a fantastic friendship. He's so great, and he's done so many things since then, and he's going to join us in a minute. How's everybody doing? It's been 1 year, right? Today's a little bit of a milestone. He was so good in Catch Me If You Can. And I also saw there he is. There's Mr. Aaron Tveit. Everybody ready to see him? Let me see. Let me find him. Hold on. One moment. I know, he's coming. Hold on. There's so many of you in here. Hold on. Of course. No, he's coming. Here he is. Oh my God, it says that there's issues. Hold on. We can just chat this way, Aaron. We'll just chat in the comments section. We're getting it says you're unable to join. Hold on, everybody. It's going to be worth the wait. Aaron, it says hold on. This is Broadway. This is Broadway. Yeah, see if you can. We don't do a lot of these live videos. So, of course, the first time we have a Fancy Tony nominee, of course, we're having issues. It says, Aaron, go out and go back in. I think that's a good idea. I like that idea. This is so chaotic. What are we going to do? It's fine, everybody. It's fine. It's totally worth the wait. Oh, my God. Uh, this is theater. Everybody's still here. This is so good. This reminds me of, I'm not even going to say it. Hold on. Yeah, Aaron, it says you have to update the app. That's what it says. The anticipation. Why is everybody, I'm okay. I'm totally fine. I'm totally chill. I'm just excited to talk to Aaron. No day but today. Yeah, what do you got? You guys want to talk about your favorite moments in Moulin Rouge? I was actually listening to the Moulin Rouge album. And I actually forgot some of the songs in it. It's been a while. So I'm excited to have the chance to see it again, right? I know we all are. Hold on. I keep trying, everybody, I swear. One moment. It'll be a moment, but it's totally worth it. It's totally worth it. Stupid updates. Who has time? You just watched the movie for the first time. Wow. Well, I know that Aaron and Karen Oliva were both huge fans. I mean, all of them. Robin Herder. All those Tony nominees were big fans of that movie. I was a huge fan of that movie, and I was so nervous about them making a Broadway musical out of it. I was like, this better not upset me. And it didn't. It's so fantastic. And it's nominated for 14 Tony Awards. Very, very well deserving. Okay, hold on. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Everybody cross your fingers. Hold on. It's coming. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, Aaron Tveit.
You know, I like to joke that I'm like a troglodyte and I can't work social media, but this was not a joke. This was of course I needed to update the app because why would I ever update any of my apps? So hey everybody.
Worth the wait. You know, I was having horrible flashbacks to the Sondheim concert night, which you were a part of, and of course
Yes.
that had a slight delay as well.
Yes.
How are you, sir? So good to see you.
I'm pretty good. Good to see you too. Yeah, I see your house upstate. Very
I
nice.
am, and
Looks
I see
lovely.
you're against a white brick wall. Very
Yep.
nice.
Yep. Very New
Very
York
nice.
City. Here's New York City behind you.
You are in New York City.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in New York.
Okay,
So
cool.
yeah,
You've been different places. You've been around doing things.
yeah, I've been around. Yeah, I was in Vancouver for a few months. Luckily, getting to work on a new Apple TV series that's it's going to have a lot of mileage with musical theater fans because it's kind of a
Yeah.
musical theater dream. So yeah, it was amazing to do that, and yeah, I've been really fortunate to do a little bit of work during this very very difficult time. So it's pretty great.
A- And we are going with the title Schmigadoon.
Schmigadoon. Yeah, there was a time.
That is
Yeah, when I was auditioning, it was Schmigadoon, but then I think they had to check with the Brigadoon camp. You know what I mean? Whoever's running the
got
Brigadoon
it.
camp had to okay it, because
Got
yeah,
it.
actually on all of our production signs on set it said Puddin, Puddn,
Okay.
Puddin with a little thing, and then we had to get the Schmigadoon okay, but we got it. So Schmigadoon will
Amazing.
be coming
Uh,
your way soon.
Amazing. I can't wait. So that's in the future. We have a lot of right now things to talk about. First of all, today
Today.
I was just I when I was vamping,
Yeah,
waiting for your app to update. I'm not a pro vamper.
yeah.
I was telling everyone that I saw on your Instagram. Today is the 10th anniversary of the first preview of Catch Me If You Can, and I think I begged to see that show really early. They don't always let press people see it early, but
Yeah.
I feel like I was like, I need to get in there, and then I immediately was like, I need to interview. Oh my God.
Yeah, I
I mean, I
think
knew
I think
you were
that
great in Next to Normal, but Catch Me If You Can was like there were like millions of dollars on your shoulders.
there's millions of dollars on my show. Yeah, yeah. I try not to think of it that way at the time, but yeah, that's very true. Yeah, and I think we did our first show people while we were, I think we were still in previews for Catch Me If
Yeah.
You Can. I don't think we had even opened
Yeah.
yet. So
Yeah. It was probably like
that was,
a week from now in
yeah,
10 years ago. Yeah.
10 years ago. Yeah. Recently it was like it was the 5-year anniversary of Grease Live. And that seemed like a blink, but 10 years is that's a real number, 10 years is a real number. So it's pretty amazing. It's pretty special. I mean, that was a very, very special show. And I still think that it didn't have as long of a life as I wanted it to have. We all wanted it to have. And I really think it's one of those shows that they're going to revive it one day, and it's just going to be kind of the right place and right time, and it'll get its due. It's that soundtrack and the score that Mark and Scott wrote, and it's so smart and so beautiful, and there were just so many things about it that I think were really, really special. And yeah, I can't wait to sit in the audience and watch it one day. Maybe it gets a revival on Broadway, and it'll be pretty cool.
You'll get invited to the opening, and some kid will be playing your role. It'll be great.
Yeah, right.
It'll be great.
Yeah, but it's had a really great life in regional theaters, and I know like a lot of high school and college productions have been doing it. So yeah, it's had like a really kind of an amazing life after Broadway, which is always great, right? Because some things sometimes they don't get to run forever here, but people all around the world get to see it. So it's awesome.
And you won a Tony for that, didn't you? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you won. I mean, you were so good in that. I'm pretty sure you won a Tony. No.
I did not.
My memory's going.
Yeah, no.
Actually, what I really remember about Catch Me If You Can was I went to the final performance because I was such a fan of it.
Yeah.
And you sang Goodbye, which was your big, and it was next level. It was next level. And
well, it was the show was about kind of, the way that we told it was, it's like as if you have like a memory that you want to tell about your life, and then you get to the bad part and you decide to kind of rewrite the story that you're telling. And so that's kind of how Goodbye functioned in the show, that we got to this point where, Frank finally was getting caught, and he had to, and besides that, he had to really finally deal with the death of his father, and kind of how his family fell apart. And so, this guy decided to just rewrite the ending and say, I'm not going to do that. This is what we're going to do. And so it became one of those very strange art imitating life, imitating art moments when we got to that moment in our final show. And, that cast and crew and creative team, we'd all worked on it for so long together. And I think we were all very devastated that it was ending. So yeah, I found myself kind of watching myself in that moment, and it was very, very overwhelming. And the audience, I think they understood kind of the weight of that moment too. And it was one of the, I've been lucky enough to be part of some really special moments in the theater. And that's definitely up there. And one of the very, very special moments that I've had in the theater.
Well, what I saw when I saw that show was, I already knew you were talented. Next to Normal was fantastic. But I saw you actually being a leading man, and you know what I mean? And now you're nominated for lead actor in a musical for Moulin Rouge.
Yes.
A big, juicy leading man role. And they don't come around that often, right?
They don't, no.
A great role like that.
Yeah. Yeah, Catch Me If You Can was interesting because I'd had a wonderful experience with Next to Normal. That was kind of the first original cast I've been a part of. Actually, I got to I did a musical version of the Three Musketeers that we did at North Shore. I think in summer 2007, and they'd hoped that it was going to have future life, and it kind of, as things happened, it didn't. But that was a part for me playing D'Artagnan that was similar to Frank Jr., where I was really on stage for kind of the whole evening. And I learned, I think I needed that show to kind of teach me the confidence that I could do that, right? And so then when we got to Catch Me If You Can, I'd had that in my back pocket. Even though it was a limited experience, I'd had an experience before where I'd really done that. So I think I really leaned on that during that show. And yeah, that was, just 8 shows a week is always an act of endurance, but that show in particular really, really pushed me. It was like I had to dance because, God bless Jerry Mitchell. He wanted me out there dancing, and I had to dance and sing. And it was really a lot. It was all the things.
Well, Moulin Rouge is a lot too. Christian is a lot. And I don't know how you do it. I don't know if you remember how to do it. It's now been a year.
I do remember. I'm ready.
Yeah. Do you feel like
I keep dreaming that we're just going to get a call and say, hey, we're doing the show tomorrow night. And I'm like, let's do it.
You'd be ready. You could just jump in.
I would, you know what, the first show would be great, and then the second show would not be so good. So that's what would happen. But no, yeah, that's another, I haven't been on Broadway since Catch Me If You Can, with Moulin Rouge, and it was about 8 or 9 years when it happened, and the timing of things and waiting for a part that matched up with the timing, and this was just kind of a dream, and I get to really kind of do everything and the kitchen sink for what an actor wants to do in a show. And then the other thing is, I think we're ready because we did our Boston run and then had about 11 months before Broadway. So I'd like to think that we're used to a little bit of time away.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I'm tricking myself to
I got it.
That's how I'm tricking myself to get through the time off.
Yeah, and it was only better. So
Yeah.
it's just gonna be next level, right?
Yeah. I hope so. Yeah.
Well, I've said it many times that is the show I want to be in the audience for when Broadway's back. I love that show so much, this, and I love that movie. And what you and that incredible cast and design team and Alex Timbers and the music, everything, choreography. I'm like, my mind is like, the minute I think of Moulin Rouge, my mind just like fills with like theatrical magic.
Yeah, it's like theatrical maximism and as many things as you can put in. But yeah, the night back is. I can't wait to be there. I think because of the way our show operates with the audience, and it really invites the audience to be a part of the evening, and the responses that very quickly they learn that they know so much of the music, so they're kind of encouraged, and they find even though they don't know, they find this thing that they want to respond to what's happening on stage and respond to these songs that they know. So there's just this. They really became another character in our show. So thinking of it that way. And then thinking of that night all the theaters in New York, across the country, I just think that night that we all can go back, that everyone can go back, is going to be so special. And then on top of that, at our show, just because of the way the audience operates, it's going to be so electric in that building. That'll be a night where, it's like on opening nights, I try not to have coffee before the show because there's like so much adrenaline that's going to happen. So that'll be a night where I'll have to not have coffee.
No coffee. No coffee.
No.
So let's talk about October 15th. It's been a while since October 15th, but that was the day that you got your Tony nomination. The show got 14, I believe, nominations.
Yeah, 14.
Did you get to, this is an odd way. Obviously, this year has been very strange with the Tony Awards and with the whole process of it. But did you get to celebrate? What was the moment like? Take me into the room with you, and how did you celebrate that great moment?
In the actual moment, I think I was off. I was in Vancouver doing Schmigadoon, and I think I was off work that day, so I was home, and I might have had because this is where we are today, I think I had a COVID test that afternoon. So, it happened in the morning, and then, the messages start to fly in, and it's really, really special. It's just something that for better or worse, it's like the thing that we all look towards as stage actors, and it's the thing you start hearing from a very young age. And then of course it just, when you start to be a part of it, it just is, that's what's interesting about this year, because the Tony season is really when you feel the community come together. You're seeing all these friends in other shows, and you're seeing them at press things and performances, and then ultimately at the Tony Awards. So that's what's a little bit strange this year, is we didn't get that part of it. But I also think when we come back, it'll be that way. But yeah, the outpouring of friends and family and former colleagues and everyone I've ever known just kind of saying congratulations, and it just meant so much. It was very overwhelming, and I know it's an interesting year because I'm the only nominee, which is historic, I guess, in a way, because it's never happened before. But I don't, I'm trying not to let that. It hasn't taken away anything in terms of the scope of the whole thing for me, because this has been, for me, it's like a lifelong journey to this point, and all of these things, and the 14 nominations for our show is, the hundreds of people that have worked on the show. So I just look at it as a recognition of work, and it's a moment in time, and I'm so grateful for it. But yeah, I got, really, really meaningful messages and gifts from people close to me. And it was very, very special. And it still is. It's still extremely special.
Did you feel like in the show, it feels like Christian really has to be the the sort of center and the right. There's so much, like, it's one of those shows where you
Yeah.
think about the overall structure of it. There's
Yeah.
so much going on in the show, and you really have to sort of bring this like very solid presence to it.
Yeah.
What was it like finding that? What was it like finding that character? And is that accurate, what I'm saying? And did that sort of develop over the time? And you also had amazing chemistry with Karen Olivo, fellow Tony nominee.
Yeah.
What was it like sort of finding Christian?
Yeah, it's really interesting because, like you said, you know, I've kind of landed in Narnia, right? I'm Dorothy in Oz. I'm
Yeah.
Alice in Wonderland, and because of that, Christian is a little bit the audience. I've always thought of him, and Alex and John and I talked about this at length, that a bit I'm also the audience's eyes into this world, right? And so there's two things happening. Besides finding Christian and finding what he means to me and how he works, it's like really about how he operates in this place, because, you know, he meets these fantastic people and characters, and they're all larger than life, and he doesn't know he's larger than life yet. So I think, you know, I really thought about that a lot, about being kind of the audience's eyes into this world a little bit, especially because, as I said, the audience is such a part of our show. So yeah, and it's a process over time, and luckily we had a whole lab experience and then some time away, and then the whole Boston experience and then some time away, and I've gotten to do that a couple times. Next to Normal was similar to that, where we did a big reading and then had time, and then had a whole rehearsal process for off-Broadway, time, rehearsal process for DC, time, and then Broadway. So I think I really enjoy doing that, because you get to learn so much from a rehearsal process, but even more from a run. And then you get to go away from it, and kind of it like settles and processes and all these things. And then you get to kind of go back, but start with all this other knowledge and keep working and keep digging. So yes, I've just been, you know, fascinated by him. And I've said it, you know, a few times in interviews. I just think it's so interesting being what it means to be from the middle of this country in 1899, which is all kind of industrial revolution, railroad, steel, oil, manifest destiny, and then finding yourself dropped into Bohemian Paris, which is, you know, in this time, in the height of artistic expression, all these things. So I think, like, from a historical standpoint, because I'm a historical nerd, that it's that was always of so much interest to me, because you know, what is this guy who somehow has this bleeding heart but has no reason to even know that he has it, and then meets Toulouse-Lautrec on the street? It's like, how does that happen? So you know, that was always really, really interesting to me about it as well.
Historical nerd, huh?
Yeah.
So what kind of things have you been digging into in the last year? You know, we've all had sort of time to, I mean, we'd have no choice, but obviously you've been doing great work on camera, and even you have an audio series too, right?
I did an audio series. Like I said, I've been extremely fortunate to work during this time, and it's something that I'm just tremendously grateful for, because I'm just acutely aware that we work and operate in a world where so many people have not been able to work, and not even that can't work, right? Our work is gone in a sense. So yeah, I'm really, really grateful that I've been able to do that. And, you know, I got to shoot a Christmas movie, and then Schmigadoon came out.
We saw the Christmas movie.
Yeah. We had a blast. It was like so fun to work with Laura and Vicky and Crystal, and, you know, we had such a good time. But so I have an Audible series coming out. Schmigadoon will be coming out. But yeah, so I've been able to work. I think it's been trying as everybody to, you know, find things to do when you quote unquote can't go do anything. But it's been a lot of you know, hopefully self-reflecting, and of course I think this whole year has been so pivotal for everything that's happening in the world on kind of a grand scale, and so many things have come up that maybe wouldn't have gotten so much attention or been able to come up if life as normal had gone forward. So I also think, oddly, and maybe this is my kind of complete optimism, I hope that we look back at this year, as hard as it was and as hard as it's been, that this was the year that things finally changed. You know, I truly hope and believe that when we look back at this time, it's going to say, oh, this is the time that these racial issues finally began to be addressed and changed, and inequality, and, you know, things that go in our business and all across the world. I think that, I hope that when we look back, we say that was the moment, that was the tipping point that finally got people to wake up. So I've tried to really think about that a lot, and hope that's something that, again, it's just my blind optimism that hope we're going to come out for the better on the other side of this.
Yeah. Well, when everything stops, then we can all sort of like look at ourselves and look at the world, right? I mean, it's
Yeah,
just
you
sort
have
of
to, and I
yeah.
think because the nature of our world is so fast paced that you don't really get the time to do that when you have so many things to do. So yeah, so I just I hope that's what happens. I hope that's what's happening.
Have you also been binging? Like, what kind of thing, if you turn on your TV, what kind of thing will get your attention?
Lots of
Like what?
binging, yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of thank goodness for television, and thank goodness for bingeable television series. Queen's Gambit, rewatched
Of
Fargo and
course.
the new Fargo. I
Uh-huh.
can't even count, countless shows. One thing that's kind of creeped in, I think, in a very strange way, is some Bravo shows. Just kind of
Oh.
mindless, mindless
Like
reality.
some like Housewives and
Just
that.
actually, Below Deck has really been the
Oh,
one.
Below Deck. Okay,
Yeah,
Below
yeah,
Deck.
that's kind of the one that's creeped in. My girlfriend had I'd never seen it, and she kind of introduced it. So we've made our way through Below Deck, but that's nice too, because you're kind of just, it's a little mindless, right? You just need to go
Uh-huh.
somewhere else. So, but yeah,
Below
so
Deck.
it's a
You need to
fine
go below
line of
deck.
like, it's a fine line of really scripted drama, and then of course complete non-scripted anything.
Right. But Broadway has been such an ongoing thing. Even when you were doing TV shows and off doing these fantastic television shows before Moulin Rouge, it
Yeah,
was always sort of like, got to get back to Broadway.
yeah,
It feels like it's always been sort of like the engine in your career, right? It's
yeah.
always the thing that's sort of
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm so fortunate that I've gotten to kind of walk in all these different mediums, but I always felt that Broadway was home for me, and I've never felt it more, I think, than this year. I think that kind of, I'd like to think I'm a person that enjoys every single job, every single moment, but kind of having it all taken away has just shown us how important it is, and
yeah.
how vital it is. But yeah, no, it's home, and it's there's just something about this community and the way that we all rally around each other is really special. So I've been waiting and just hoping for the right opportunity to come back timing wise, and this was it. And I'm so
Yeah.
lucky that Moulin Rouge came along when it did.
It's warmer out now, and
Yeah.
the snow's
Yes.
melting finally around me, which is
Yeah.
great.
Yep.
And I know you're gonna hit the links. Is that what
Oh.
you say? Is that the golfing links? What is it?
I will definitely be starting to golf soon. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's the one thing that's been really missing in the last 4 or 5 months. But yeah, no, the warm weather really feels it feels like a shift, right? It's all these things.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
the election worked, and now the
Yeah.
vaccine's seemingly working, and now the weather's getting warm. So I really hope that that this is all just the beginning of the tide turning. And of course, I saw the announcement. It was last week or the week before about the 33% indoor audiences allowed in New York as of April 2nd, and I hope, and I think that's like step one of a many-step process for us getting back. So I'm just trying to, remain hopeful that all these things and all the work that everyone, the sacrifices that have been made this year are going to start kind of paying off, and we're going to be able to get back inside and in the theater together.
Yeah. I asked people, we asked people on the Broadway.com Instagram to give you any questions, and there were a lot. There's way
Okay.
too many, but most of them were about Miles. How's Miles?
How's Miles?
Is Miles there? You look down. Can we have a cameo? Stop. Oh my God. Hi, Miles. What a cutie.
Yeah, he's good. Say hey, buddy. Say hi, bud.
Oh, hi, cutie.
Say hi, buddy.
Oh
Yeah.
my.
So
That
he's
looks very cuddleable.
he's good, and he's very confused with the extra voice in here, but he's good. Yeah, he's doing great, and he's loving the warm weather. He's been he's not as happy that the dog parks are more crowded now, but he's loving the warm weather. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
How
With
your
all the
pups?
Henry's good. He reacts to certain voices. It's like
Yeah.
certain voices. It's funny. He'll be like, "You're talking to that person again on FaceTime."
Yeah.
So like he'll react. Right now he's actually sleeping. It's all good.
Good.
But I'm gonna ask a couple other sort of quick questions people had. People had a lot of really
Sure.
fun questions. So let's just
Yep.
like sort of fly through them. Agatha wanted to know if you could add a song to the Moulin Rouge score. Is there any like popular song you would want to throw in the mix?
Hmm. Um, you know, the one that we didn't. It was one of the few that we didn't get the rights to, but they used to when we did the lab, and it's in the movie too. The dancers in the opening number used to can to Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Oh
And
yeah,
they
yeah,
loved the song.
totally right. Yeah,
And it
yeah,
was really, really amazing. Somebody just said Uptown Funk. Yeah, Uptown Funk was in there too. That was a really good one. But yeah,
yeah.
those are great. Yeah, I mean, honestly, besides that, I just think everything I've kind of detached. Everything works so well, I think, in the
I
narrative
know.
that yeah. But those are the two that I do miss. I do miss those two very much from our lab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tessa asks about who are the Broadway stars that inspired you
Oh wow.
when you were young, coming up?
You know, Mandy Patinkin did and still does. When I got to studying theater in college, I listened to Raul Esparza and Gavin Creel and Norbert, and I listened to these guys over and over again on cast albums, and I tried to sing like them, and I tried to, I was like, how do they do that? How do they sing like that? And then of course, I've become friends with all of them, which still sometimes I was actually speaking to Gavin the other day because we're sneak peek. We have another something coming that we're doing together soon. But and again, I stopped after I talked to Gavin, and I was just like, I used to just listen to the Thoroughly Modern Millie soundtrack and try to sound like him. So yeah, so those are definitely the people that I really looked up to.
Yeah. Are you inspired by Mandy Patinkin's current like quarantine fashion and all of his content? So good.
Andy Patinkin and his wife and their son doing that and putting that out there has just been some of the biggest smiles of this whole quarantine. And
Totally.
I'm a huge fan of his, to the point where I've actually seen, I've been in the same room as him, and it's one of those things where like I don't, I'm such a fan that I actually didn't say anything because I'm worried that if we meet that way, that it's just like I'm always like. So I'm just like I'm such a huge fan of his.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am too, and I actually interviewed him, and just having him like across from me for a half hour, I was like, I can ask Mandy Patinkin anything I want. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Because it's awkward otherwise. Like,
Yeah.
what's the
What am I
interaction?
supposed to say? What if I say something that's not that he thinks isn't cool? So no, I think he's the coolest.
Sienna wants to know, what was your most intimidating audition, and how did you get through it? How did you like get yourself through it?
Ooh. Well. This is a little inside baseball, but being as it's the 10th anniversary of our first preview today, I think Catch Me If You Can was probably the most intimidating.
Yeah.
I had I'd done Hairspray, so I knew the creative team really well, which can work in your favor, but can also work against you a little bit because they know you a certain way, and you kind of have to change their impression of you a little bit. But that day they were auditioning for Frank. And I actually didn't have an appointment for it. And so many people kept asking me if I was going in, and I wasn't. And then kind of the last minute, the night before, I heard that they wanted to see me again because they'd seen me a bunch at that point. They didn't think I was the guy. I'd done a reading in the ensemble where I wasn't, they didn't think I was the guy. And then kind of the night before, they said, come on in. And I had, 25 pages of material. And it was just one of those things that I got there, and like the other people that were auditioning was just like every single person that I admired in this city and business. And it was a real light bulb moment for me. I was in the bathroom, and I kind of just looked in the mirror, and I just had to laugh. I just had to laugh at the whole thing. And it was a moment where I finally just like released the result of everything. And then of course, I think that's what allowed me to really go in the room, and somebody said I was the guy. I was the guy. I was finally the guy, and they saw I was the guy. So that was definitely my most intimidating. And that is Miles making. That is Miles.
Miles had a lot of reactions. Miles had a lot of. Miles was like, I feel like he was feeling the pressure of that story for you.
Well, I said the fateful words of the DP, and so now he knows it. He knows it's almost time.
Oh, okay. Now like the timer's on. We'll let him go. We'll let him go soon, Miles. I'm gonna ask you a few more questions. Carrie wants to know, how do you keep your voice in shape? I mean, you've been singing. I'm assuming you're singing Schmigadoon.
Yep, I sing in Schmigadoon, and it's hilarious, and hopefully hilarious and great and fun. And I still, I just kind of sing. I kind of sing in the shower. I sing walking down the street. It's just, but no, I've taken a few voice lessons I took some voice lessons before Schmigadoon just to try to get back in shape.
Right.
I'm working on something else right now that you'll, see soon. But yeah, it's, and then when I'm in a show, it's very boring, but it's sleep and water and don't drink too much alcohol and sleep. That's the key.
Katie wants to know if you would ever consider playing Dan in Next to Normal. I like that question.
Ooh, Dan.
Dan the dad.
Yeah, of course. Well, we'll see. Maybe the Next Normal revival will be enough time away that I could play Dan. But no, absolutely, that show still just has such a place in my heart, and Bobby Spencer just emotionally wrecks me like no other on stage. So Dan in my heart is quite full.
Nancy wants to know, which of your characters do you think would be the worst to deal with personality-wise, like as a person?
Probably Gabe. You know what I mean? He's just like, he's a little bit of a terror, realistically and symbolically. Yeah. And maybe Frank Jr., because you'd really never know what you're going to get, or you never know if you're getting an angle played, or all of those things.
Yeah, Frank would be a really difficult person, I think, to deal with.
Yeah, although in real life, Frank Abagnale is the greatest person, and we were very lucky to have him very involved in our production, and he's one of the most incredible people I've ever met. So, well,
we don't know what's going on with the Tony Awards yet, but do you have a tuxedo ready to throw on if you have to do something in some way, or?
I mean, I kind of like our show. If they say we're having the Tonys, I'll say, when can I be there? I just hope, I hope at this point that I hope we're going to get to do it for real, right? It's like, I just, again, I'm trying to be optimistic that I know people are working things out, but 2,000 people can watch the Knicks in Madison Square Garden, so why can't 700 of us be in Radio City and do the show? So those are the things that I'm really hoping are the next steps, and I hope that we can do them live for real, and I hope that it'll be within the next few months, and I hope that tickets are back on sale for Broadway. So I just, I hope it's a big love letter and celebration of theater and our industry, and hopefully that's sooner than later.
A lot of people asked in the comments, and I see them asking live too. They're asking if your hair is blonde or brunette. And before you go into that, they're acting like this is a very important question.
What?
You and I have basically the same exact color hair.
Very similar.
Like,
yeah. What do you think?
I used to always say like dirty blonde. That used to be like the term I would use. Yeah. Also a great play, by the way, too. But I don't know what it is. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I've thought like dirty blonde, or like really dirty blonde, or really light brown. but I don't know. But it's funny. I've actually, growing up, I always thought I had like light brown hair, and then kind of once I started working, people said it was blonde. But I've been more in the light brown camp.
I think it's light brown. I think it's light brown.
For all the wagering that's going on, I see in the comments.
Honeycomb.
My hair's definitely not dark brown. So somebody said that, but no, it's dishwater blonde. That's fantastic. Yeah.
Apparently, this was the most important question that had to be dealt with. So
light brown, but I'll throw a wrinkle in it. If I golf too much or I spend too much time in the sun in the summer, then it really does get blonde. So take your pick.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Tveit, you are always a delight, and you've had such an incredible career. It's always so great, and you always have a real knack for picking things that I love. So thank you for that. Thank you for being in fantastic shows that I'm obsessed with.
You're very welcome, and thank you for and Broadway.com for always the amazing support, and everyone tuning in right now. Thank you for always being just vehement supporters of me and my career and the shows I'm in, and somebody else wants to say goodbye. We'll just say,
I know you're going to the dog park, honey. Yeah, we're doing it. You're going to do the walk.
We're going to go to the DP. Yeah.
the DP. Yeah. Thank you so much. It was so good to see you. I'm going to end the video now. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Have a great day, everyone. Thank you for joining us.